Hey, what's up guys, TechGuyHarjit here, and this is a review of the Blackberry Z10. So let's hit that intro and get started. So let's start off with, firstly, let me say thank you to Vodafone for sending out this phone for review. This phone has been out for quite a while now, so I'm probably a bit late on my review, but a review is a review, right? You get a perspective on different people, the way they see the phone compared to other people. So I guess a review is technically never too late. So anyway, let's get started. So let's start off with the actual hardware of the phone. So if I can focus in on a bit closer to the phone. So firstly, you have your microphone, not your microphone, sorry, your earpiece. And then next to that you have your 2 megapixel front facing camera, which can also record in 720p. And then on the right of the phone you have your volume button and your picture button. That basically is used to snap your pictures, and volume up, volume down, and that's your picture button basically. On the bottom you have your speaker, which also kind of doubles as a way to open up your battery. And here we have the back of the phone, where we have your 8 megapixel camera with 1080p video recording, and this is basically your very long battery, which is 1800 milliamp hours. So it is a pretty good size. It got me through the day without having to run for a charger, whereas my iPhone 5, within halfway through the day I am kind of making sure I don't use it that much. So having this good big battery in the phone was a massive plus for the Z10. And so yeah, that is basically the back of the phone. That's where your SIM card goes. It does take a micro SIM, so you won't be that hard trying to find a micro SIM. They are quite readily available now. And that's where you would put your micro SD card. This takes up to 32 gig. I don't have one at the moment, but that is as much as the memory is expandable. So let's get the back of this phone back on. It is quite easy. You just line it up with the camera, to be honest, and then the rest just snaps in place. I don't know if you heard those clicks. And that is basically how the back of the Blackberry Z10 looks. I mean, personally, it looks very nice. It looks very, well, it's quite a mainstream design with the candy bar kind of look. And let's turn it off because I don't want you to see how it looks before I've even told you how to unlock the phone. So yeah, the silver on the back looks very nice. It's better than the previous Blackberries they had, where it would, like, if you scratched it, it would come off. This is actually built right into the casing. So these aren't stickers, they will last you, they won't just peel off or anything. And the back has a very nice, like, carbon leather look. I mean, leather feel with this carbon kind of look. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's got quite a nice textured look to it, which feels good in the hand because it doesn't feel like you're gonna slip. And yes, that is a reflection of the light at the top, which I'm using to light up this video. So how do you unlock the Blackberry Z10? Well, there's two ways of doing it. There's one where, while it's locked, you can slide up from the bottom, or the other way is, if you'd rather use the power button, you can press the power button and there it slides up. But I think it's a bit cooler, isn't it? I mean, where you don't even need to press a button and you just slide up and your phone's awake. I haven't tested how this would work if you've got a fast lock on your phone, whether this disables the slide up feature when it's just in sleep mode. But I'll let you know how it goes after testing that out. But this is basically the main chunk of the review, and I will let you know in a tweet or whatever if the passcode lock thing disables this feature. And if you're not already following me on Twitter, do follow me at TechGuyHarjit. And of course you have your headphone, 3.5mm headphone jack at the top with your sleep/power off button and your noise cancelling mic. So in terms of design, yes, I couldn't say aesthetic. I still can't say it, so I'll just say design. In design wise, this phone looks very stylish. I mean, I'll be honest, in terms of looks, I prefer this to the iPhone 5. I don't know why. I think it's got a very professional business look to it. So I guess it is kind of targeted towards the mature audience. But I mean, if you're someone that likes to be stylish, that likes to be different, I guess, then this phone is quite good in terms of design. Because it's not the iPhone 5, it's not an Android phone. It does look a bit different. Now this phone is running BB10, which basically means Blackberry 10, which is their latest operating system, and this and the Q10 are their most flagship devices which are going to be launched with this operating system. So this is basically BlackBerry's, well, attempt to get back the market that they lost to Android and iOS. They're doing a pretty good attempt. I mean, this is quite a nice phone. In terms of hardware and software, they are quite good. What I think they are lacking in is something which I will talk about in a minute. So let's unlock the phone. Now this is what you see when you first unlock the phone. You will just see a grid of icons. Very iOS-like, but not an exact rip-off. So you can give BlackBerry a bit of leeway in that. So let me try getting as much focus on that as I can. There you go. So as you can see, it is basically rows of icons. There you go, and more rows of icons. Until you open up an app. So let's open Twitter. It is quite hard when you're trying to look at this through a camera, but got it in the third attempt. So I'm not going to let it. Okay, here's Twitter on the Blackberry Z10. Should we give a few shout outs? Let's do it. Let's give a shout out to Lamar Wilson. Let's give a shout out to Sam J. Pullen. Let's give a shout out to Unbox Therapy, the App Store, and basically the David DeFranco. So anyway, basically once you've opened up an app, slide up, and that becomes a little tile on your home screen. That is basically how BB10 handles multitasking. Here we have settings. So you have got a lot of settings. You've got network settings, notifications, system volume, accounts, display. I think this is, yeah, it's quite low on brightness. Should I turn it up or not? I mean, how is that affecting? Yeah, that is affecting it quite a lot. Let's put the brightness back to what it was. So there you go again. It makes another little not live tile, but it makes it another tile. And then let's open up Blackberry World. Seeing as we've got Blackberry World opened up, let's give you a run through on the kind of apps you can get. Now, BlackBerry was criticized quite a lot previously in their older operating system, which was I think BB7. So they didn't have many apps. That's what they were criticized on them at the that's what they were criticized on the most. That took quite a while to get out. So now they are populated with apps. They've got apps, movies, TV shows, and basically quite a lot of stuff which every other app store has these days. But they are still lacking in some core apps which some people use on a daily basis. Now what you could do is, if you're clever, you can run Android apps on this, but if you just want the stock BlackBerry experience, then in terms of apps, I mean, let's go into categories. Cancel. Let's go into categories. So there's not even that many categories at the moment. You've got applications. So you've got the applications, books, games, magazines, music, and video. So if you go into applications, you've got a fair bit of categories. But I mean, if we go into, let's say, productivity apps, it's broken down even more. So document, tools, organization, or just general productivity. So you have got a few apps. I mean, the list is quite good, but I mean, the apps that people have fallen in love with on Android and iOS, it will take quite a while for them to show up on BlackBerry World. And yes, that is another thing. They have stopped calling it BlackBerry App World, and they're just calling it BlackBerry World. So like I said, again, multitasking, you can swipe back, swipe up to go to close the app, and then go back to where you were previously. Now if you want to take them away from this, you just tap a little X which is on the bottom right, and that takes all the apps in your multitasking. Let's call it multitasking home screen, because that is kind of what it is. So another big thing that BlackBerry has been promoting in BlackBerry 10 is the flow functionality. So what this is if I swipe to the right, that pops up all my notifications. So currently it's tweets, emails, etc., etc. I'm not going to dive in too much because it might show us some private information. And then if you swipe to the right again, you can break it down even more. So you can have it broken down into just your BBMs, just your text messages, just your Gmail, just your Facebook, just your Twitter, just your calls. So you can categorize, you can have it just be categorized, or you can have them all in one where everything's in your hub. And now another good thing is, so say if I'm in Twitter and I get a little notification again, I get the famous Blackberry LED red LED notification, and I want to see what it could be. Rather than having to go into the home screen and swipe to the right, what I could do is go back to the app. So while I'm in the app, I get a notification. I can just slide up, and that is their peep function, which shows you the notifications you've got. So, and the good thing is say if it's a text message, I've gotten a new text message, and it could be quite important. So from here, I could slide to the right, all in one go. Let me show you that again. So back to the home screen. So I'm in Twitter, I get a text. I see that I've gotten 2 now, so I should start replying maybe. So slide to the right, see who it was, and you can reply within the BlackBerry Hub. Now let's get on to the camera of this phone, because a lot of people do use their phone as their main camera, as that is the one they have on them all the time. So what should we take a picture of? Let's take a picture of this Mountain Dew bottle that I've just got lying around. Not a sponsor. I wish they were. So I have to try taking this looking into the camera. Okay. So if you tap the screen, it takes the picture. And let's see how that picture came out. So let's focus in properly. So that is quite detailed. I mean, if we zoom in, that is quite a detailed picture. So the camera is good for an 8 megapixel camera, but I sometimes think it is not on par with the iPhone or Android phones which have an 8 megapixel camera. And some phones even perform better than this, which have a 5 megapixel camera. But then again, I guess it all depends on how good the phone is with low light performance, with intense light performance. Because I mean, if you're outside, every phone can take amazing pictures. But at the end of the day, it does depend on low light performance. And one thing I have to tell you about this phone, because I was doing this when I first got it. Tapping does not make it focus. What you have to do is you grab the focus point. Let me try showing you the best I can. So you're grabbing the focus point and moving it about. So I want to focus on the keyboard. It will then focus in on the keyboard. I want to move it back to the bottle. Focuses it on the bottle. And then snap to take the picture. So that's what and you do get quite a lot of settings. So there is a good mix of settings for people that want to experiment. You can turn the flash on and off. You can change the focus mode to normal, or have a burst mode. You can also have it be set by scene. So if you're trying to capture someone that's moving, I wouldn't say capturing a fast car moving, but maybe just someone that's in motion walking or something. And then you've got all these other categories. You've got night mode, and you've also got, can't see that through the camera, beach or snow. So it kind of neutralizes the colors if you're on a beach or if you're taking a picture in the snow, which is good because then you get the true color of the snow or beach scene. Or see there again, I thought it was tapping to focus. So let's get out of the camera now. So we're out of the camera. Let's close that. Let's close Twitter. And let's move the non-sponsored Mountain Dew bottle out of the way. So what I'll do is after this review, I'll put up another video showing you the 1080p from the back of the Blackberry Z10, so you can judge for yourself what the video quality looks like. Because I could make a quick little video here, but then it's coming from the screen of the phone to the camera to your screens, and then it won't really be that clear. So I'll upload a full 1080p video taken straight from this Blackberry for you to judge for yourself. Now call quality was very good on the phone. I didn't get any dropped calls in my tests. I think I made around 6-7 calls, and they were very normal. The person could hear me on the other side, I could hear them. It was basically how you would expect a phone to perform. So another good thing about the Blackberry Z10 is something that a lot of iPhone users have been wanting, and that is quick toggles. Now iPhone users have been jailbreaking for a while to get this, but BlackBerry thought, let's just chuck it in there for good reason. So if you slide down, you've got settings, rotation lock, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, alarm, and notification. So if you click on settings, that takes you straight into settings. Clicking on rotation lock will obviously lock your rotation. Bluetooth will turn on your Bluetooth. Wi-Fi will basically turn on and off your Wi-Fi. Alarm will set your latest alarm, which is depending on when you set it for. And if you click notifications, well, it really depends. Basically, if you click the word notifications, it takes you to the notification settings. But if you click on the notification logo, it toggles it from silent to normal. So if you're in a meeting, or if you're at university or something and you need to turn your phone on silent rather than turning it off, just press that button and you're sorted. So give it a press, it'll go to silent. Let me focus in on that. It goes to silent, and then when you're out of class, out of the meeting, tap it again and your notifications will sound again. Now, an amazing feature of this phone is that, say if you're having a video chat with someone else that has a BB10 device, like the Q10, the Z10, or any other phones BlackBerry decided to bring out, then say if you can't find out something specific on your phone, but the person that you're having that video conference or chat with knows how to do it, but in translation you're not able to do it right, what you can do is you can share your screen with them. So literally anything that's on your screen will come up on their phone, and then they can walk you through what to do, what not to do, and they can see live if you're doing it correctly or not. Now it would be interesting to see if any other phone manufacturers adopt this kind of technology, but seeing as BlackBerry are one of the first to show it off to the world mainstream, it will be interesting to see how this goes for the future of BlackBerry and their phones. Another feature, I wouldn't really call it Siri for BlackBerry, but what you can do is that you can use your voice to send text messages or update your social networks like Facebook and Twitter. So don't mistake this for a Siri. It's not like a Siri for BlackBerry. So don't start asking it questions like, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck, etc., etc. I'm not gonna say the whole thing. So yeah, don't start asking it silly questions like who was the first prime minister. It will not tell you that. It's just gonna hear your voice and translate it into text for text messages and social network updates. So that was my review of the BlackBerry Z10. In conclusion, I think this is a good phone for BlackBerry coming back into the market. This is a very good attempt. A lot of people have bought it. I don't remember when it was, but they have sold quite a few. I think they sold 1 million BlackBerry Z10s. I think I'll put an annotation if I'm wrong. But they did. I think they did sell 1 million BlackBerry Z10s. Well, they probably sold more by now, but I mean, they announced it when they sold their 1 millionth, and that is quite a big milestone for a company that was or still might be on their way down. But we'll see how BlackBerry 10 does for BlackBerry. And yes, they are now called BlackBerry RIM, is off the charts. But the funny thing is, on the box, it still says RIM. So I don't know what they're doing there. But yeah, so this was my review. I know it's a bit late, I'm sorry. But like they say, better late than never. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again another time in another video. Take care.